Okay, hello. Welcome to a broadcast from the Jess TV studio. Jessie Parmar's at the controls, running things, keeping us on track here. My name's ALLAN FRIESEN. You might know me as being the evangelist for the Caring Employers Healthy Teams Collaborative. What is that, you ask? It's a way for small and medium-sized companies to get big-sized benefits, big company benefits, better rates, lower premiums, longer rate guarantees, and amazing service. My team and I would like to talk to you about that if you have any interest in that. We want to contribute to the health and wellness of your team. But today is Paul Wasylyewicz. That's a champion. Him and his wife Corey are champions for the Ukrainian people in our community. They're working on the health and wellness of our Ukrainian newcomers, and they're doing an amazing job. I met Paul through Rotary, and then he keeps on finding stuff that the Ukrainian folks need, and I keep trying to get it to the Ukrainian folks. Our Rotary Club, I think, has 40 different families Ukrainian families that we are supporting and aiding. Amazing. Dennis Chinner, do you know Dennis Chinner? Yeah, Dennis Chinner doing an amazing job. I'm just like a supporting player in that, but he's leading the show. So Paul, you for one thing, let's kind of go, first of all, let's talk about the firefighter gear. Let's talk about that.
Sure, thanks for that. So we're with an organization called Firefighter Aid Ukraine. They're based in Edmonton. The co-founder is doing an amazing job up there, and Kevin Royal's his name. Anyway, he started Firefighter Aid Ukraine, and there was a big request for gear once the war started.
Sure.
For protective equipment. Especially, we had one email come from overseas that just said we need fire suits. So because my background is emergency services for over 35 years, we had some connections here. So I found out emails to all the services in Southern Alberta. And then based on what they had come back, it's become overwhelming. Like the amount of stuff we've sent over is astounding.
Did you tell me 10,000?
Yeah, so we just broke, it's a big milestone because initially what they asked for and what we've given is way up. So we've surpassed the 10,000 mark. That's full protective gear, boots, pants, coat, balaclava, helmets, 10,000 plus tons of extra gear. Plus building collapse, structural collapse, vehicle extrication, rescue. And now the goal is we've combined sending equipment with training initiatives. So a group of 6 just came back from Ukraine to train on the equipment we sent over.
Wow.
So it's been overwhelming, actually, the response and the generosity. And when it makes it to Ukraine, they disperse it to every corner of Ukraine, and they're ever so grateful. Some of those little cities literally have zero starting. So yeah, we're giving them a good foundation plus the training, and yeah, it's been, so that project has started small, has just snowballed. And
That's
it's
amazing.
And it's gaining momentum. It's not slowing down, which is great.
And the Ukrainian folks who get that gear, they're like volunteers that are just looking to help, right?
They are.
And they now they can help without putting their health at risk, right? Or at least they have the protective gear to protect themselves from the elements, from the fires, that's awesome. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and it really, it's not about us. It's about them, the first responders that choose to do this.
Yes.
And largely volunteers. They're sharing some of the gear, but it works hard enough as it is.
Oh, definitely.
With the proper gear, but I can't even imagine. They were using like welding coveralls, like very poor. And now you're doing a difficult job with the right tools.
Yes.
So, and that's all they ask for. And so, yeah, we're providing it. So the generosity's been overwhelming, and it continues. So we're super happy about that. Yeah.
That's incredible. Now, you're of Ukrainian heritage, is that correct?
Correct, yeah. My dad, that's sort of why we're doing this, is really honoring my dad's heritage.
Yes.
And so some of the gear we sent actually made it to his village that he was born in, which is really...
Oh, that's heartwarming.
It was super heartwarming. And, and to ensure we're getting feedback from every corner that they've got gear, they're super appreciative. So, yeah, it's for us... big step in supporting. Yeah, he came here so we would never have to do this again.
Yeah.
And here we are. So
yeah, that's amazing. And in terms of, like, I mean, it's not about money, but 10,000 of those suits, like each one of those gear is probably like $3,000. Is that when they were purchased new, they were probably about $3,000. Is that
probably
right?
In that ballpark with everything. And we've also sent like the breathing apparatus to go with it. So they're really getting everything. Plus fire trucks have been donated from the Europe area. So they are getting the equipment, plus so the gear, the equipment, and now some training to go with it to support the cause. Some of the stuff we sent, the building collapse is a bit technical, so the crew just went over there. Plus now there's a big push because we not just support the fire service, we're doing the national EMS as well. So we're sending tons of for the paramedics in Ukraine, and they're doing courses on bleeding control and the stuff that we're sending. So yeah, that group just came back and they said the response there, they're so grateful, and they're doing a train the trainer piece, so that training will go throughout the country. So it's this project's become huge and super important.
Oh, yeah. No kidding. Wow, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. And the people that just went there and did the training, how many people were part of that group?
It was a group of 6. Some of them did a vehicle extrication course, and then there was a big train the trainer for medical. So in these, we're talking task force level instructors to farm it out through their community. And so the feedback when they came back is that they're taking it in like sponges, and they hit the ground running. They're getting the training dispersed, plus the gear and the equipment, and so it's moving in the right direction. And that it doesn't look like there's an end in sight. There's tons more. It's the war is devastating, but the good news is there's still a lot of things coming.
Yes,
and we'll still keep moving forward till. Yeah, when people ask us all the time, when do you stop? Well, when they say we don't need any more.
Exactly.
That's the goal. So we're actually getting a bunch of gear now from the States, San Antonio or San Jose. Sent 400 sets of gear because it's better for us to ship it from Edmonton or Calgary over than for them to. And then Timmins, Ontario just sent 1,000 sets.
Wow.
To Calgary. We packaged it and shipped it up. So the good piece of this is we did a presentation at the church my parents went to in Calgary. For newcomers.
Yeah.
And it was packed house. And all we were looking for is not money donations, but we need help packing the packing the parcels to get on the plane to get to Ukraine where it's shipped out.
The physical work.
Physical work. And so our group went from like 4 or 5 volunteers to 40 in Calgary. So when we pull up to the warehouse with a trailer full of gear, it used to take us a full day. Now it's hours only. So they're so thankful, and they want pictures in the gear and sending it to their parents overseas. Look what they're contributing. So it's not just for us, it's for them or supporting their country by doing this initiative. So it's amazing. Yeah,
that is incredible.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So Paul and his wife Corey are huge champions of the Ukrainians in our Lethbridge community as well. Like, I mean, all of that gear is going to the Ukraine to help and keep people safe and protect them from the ravages of war that they're experiencing there. But this here in our community, Paul and Corey are known for their resourcefulness in terms of finding things for Ukrainian families. And what is the number for Ukrainian families in our community now?
I was trying to figure that out and I haven't, but since there was several months starting the beginning of the year, there was about 500 a week of Ukrainians coming to Alberta.
Yeah. More
are coming to Lethbridge now because our accommodations is way cheaper. So we're getting an influx, and the nice thing is almost all of them come here and they're working and contributing and feel good about it. So yeah, so the actual number here, I'm not sure, Alan, but
I know
it's growing.
Our Rotary Club by itself is I'm sure I believe it was more than 40 families last count.
Right.
And so folks like you that are resourcing the things that they need, and I mean, they need everything. They come here with nothing, right? And then they get a place to live, and then what do you have to do? They have to have furniture. They have to have plates and dishes and sheets and beds and everything. So the folks at Sentinel Storage have been nice enough to give us access to a big storage thing, and as we find these resources, then we put them in there, or ideally, we share them with the Ukrainian folks. There's a Facebook website called, what is it? Rotarians Helping Ukrainians, I think is what it's called. Yes.
Great, yeah.
And so we post things there and then find it and get it directly to those folks that need it. So that exchange, that thing has been working extremely well. And the Ukrainian families that I meet, my goodness, they're just so grateful to be here, and this is their home. Like they're not ever, if the war ended tomorrow in the Ukraine, which that would be lovely if that could happen. That's horrible. But if it could end tomorrow, they would not go back. They're happy. They're Canadian citizens and they're staying here.
Well, and we've spoken to quite a few people at the Rotary Club have helped settle. They are so grateful. They can't even express their appreciation. But just the fact that they came here literally with a suitcase of some clothing and essentially move into a home that's furnished what a start. Like leaving your home and your parents' home and your grandparents' home to come here, sight unseen, and language barrier. How nice that is that you have a safe home, food, and potential work right on the like. So for the Rotary Club, how do we extend a gratuity that deep? It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is. This community has, especially the Rotary Club here, that the amount they're giving, and the donations keep coming in. We have, as soon as something goes on social media, like this is great. Corey and I get phone calls literally every week and emails. I have this amount of stuff. In fact, someone just phoned last week that their a grandparent, it was her grandmother passed, and she said her grandmother's wishes were to donate the whole house, turnkey, all the contents to a Ukrainian family.
Yeah.
And we're working on that in the next few weeks. So things like that keep coming in. So it's although the devastating war, that stuff is hard, it restores faith in humanity for sure.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, no, that's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
You also, of course, we know that sometimes people come here and without the resources and maybe they don't get connected, they're at risk of people who are predators, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're at risk of human trafficking, that kind of thing. Tell us about what...
Okay, I'm glad you asked that, because we had some incidents that we called Lethbridge Police Service for, and the officer, it was on 2 separate occasions. The officers did an amazing job. They were so professional. So we sent an email, Corey sent an email thanking the chief to recognize that these constables on the 2 different occasions were very professional and it should be recognized. He invited us for coffee, which is a bit
Shaheen
unusual.
Medizadeh is our chief of police. And he's amazing.
Amazing guy.
Wow,
So
what an incredible guy.
We met him for coffee, and he thanked us for the email, and he was really appreciative of that. Then he his journey to Canada, and then we got in the conversation of Fire Aid Ukraine and what we're doing with the Rotary Club, and he said that they had developed through the ALERT program a human trafficking brochure, because the vulnerability now is huge. So they developed this. We took it, and it's in Ukrainian. We took it up to Calgary to my parents' parish up there, Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary. They're super involved with they were so grateful to have that, and they've actually now converted it into English form, but they're distributing that when they get their meet and greet. They go through all things, and that's of importance, and the avenues to go to. So not just that is a preventative measure, but also there's some mental health links to that brochure. So I can't even imagine the position some of them are coming in here.
Oh yeah.
So the police here, police chief, he's such an advocate and been instrumental, and if you want more, we can get more, and and the distribution has been great. So and you guys are doing the same thing here.
Yeah, so it's and the Ukrainian families that I've met, I mean, you think about this. The one family, they had a business, they had homes, they had cars, and it was just, what do they leave with? A suitcase. That's all, right? So they come here and have to start all over with everything, with like nothing, right from ground floor. And a lot of the resources that we have that maybe we don't use or we take for granted. Here's a good example. The University of Lethbridge had some surplus Mac computers, right? They're 10-year-old computers, right? But they work fine. But the profs now, they're not going to use a 10-year-old computer, right? It's slow. So but I put it out there on the Lethbridge, or Rotaines Helping Ukrainians, that's what it is. And the people that got them were just so grateful, and like, this is great, this is a tool I can use. One was a computer design kind, like AutoCAD type thing,
right.
And that even that old Mac would still run that software, right? So
there's what a good I think if people just for 30 seconds in their day think about being in that position,
yes,
where I'm going tomorrow, I'm leaving to a foreign country with the language barrier, with the suitcase. Where do you start? How comforting that they're greeted at the airport, warm welcome, brought here. The most challenging steps are seemingly smooth when they get here, and for as distraught as they are and as stressed, you can see that level come down once you're here and you're safe. And to bump into people at grocery stores that we've helped, and with the Rotary, they're so grateful, and they share their stories. I'm working here now, I've changed my job. I'm telling people come here, and so they're safe, they have food, but just to appreciate the journey they've been through. And when we talk to some of these people where, they started showing Corey and I some pictures of their town, we had to stop because they're pulverized. They're where they lived is gone.
Yeah.
And here now they're
It's a pile of rubble.
pile of rubble.
Yeah.
And coming here, some of them leaving their parent, and you know, the men that are of fighting age can't leave, so wife and her kids or grandparents coming here to a warm welcome, plus with the growing Ukrainian community, which is good, and they're not just growing, but there's a difference to growing and being involved. So we've had so many people come here that, what can I do to help now? You help me, what can I do to help? So now it's
Yes.
people helping deliver, place, donate, translate. My Ukrainian used to be great. It's not. It's getting better as we get exposed more. So I can carry a conversation well, but sometimes just a phone call to one of these, we need help translating. Your English is, they're more than happy. When can I meet? What can I do? So yeah, and
I found, I didn't realize this first of all, but some of the Ukrainian folks that I've been in contact with, they only want to do text, right?
Yes.
And why they want to do text is I send them a text in English,
They
they
can
translate it into
translate it,
Ukrainian,
yep.
and then send it, say their stuff in Ukrainian, and then send me back. Great. I mean, look, the technology is incredible, right?
Oh,
that you can use. So.
it is, and we do the same thing.
Same,
And
yeah.
even when we have a warehouse in Cochrane with the fire gear, and so often I'll pick up a few people here, Calgary, half a dozen, go to the warehouse. They speak Ukrainian, and they'll start speaking. No, they want me to speak English, so they learn. So we're having this bad. No, I need to learn, so we compromise. It's half and half, but you know, just with their willingness to help, and a few of the people, there was 12 the last time we loaded a shipment. If you do this again, you let me know. I'll be there right now. So, you know, it's a contribution, a huge contribution, but also they also share stories of. The one lady, in fact, just a few weeks ago, someone donated perfect size clothing for her.
Huh.
We had Kate's boxes full. She said, I only need 5, but I'll give 5 to my friend. Like, right
Yeah. there.
So one person tells 2 friends, and all of a sudden, here's this huge, growing, contributing, grateful group. Like,
And I think it's also a reminder of how blessed we are, how, how like all our needs are met. We have more than we need, right? You and I both, right? I mean, we have everything we need plus, right? And so if you've got assets, if I've got things that I'm not using anymore, they're still functional, they're still, we don't want to give them crap.
No.
But if you got stuff that works and you're not using it anymore, you haven't used it for a year, well, this is a great opportunity to help newcomers to Canada in their journey here, in their integration into our community. And when you're talking about Rotarians helping to pack all the things to go to the Ukraine, we have a lot of Ukrainian families that come, or Ukrainians that come out and support Rotary as volunteers, right?
Well,
You know,
amazing.
whatever
Yeah.
that is. Like they're okay. We'll clean up the tables, and we'll, those kind of things, help set up and that. So yeah, it's an amazing experience.
Sure is. So I mean, for the Ukrainian community, they're so grateful. Lethbridge, Calgary, Edmonton, Red Deer. Our son's a fire medic in Red Deer, and he's looking after that area, doing largely the same thing, helping place people in their homes, fire protective gear, shipping it out, and so. It's growing, and I think people do have a soft spot for the cause right now, but again, if you just put yourself in that spot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was my dad's and my mom's. She came here post-war, farmed sugar beets in Shaughnessy.
Yeah.
My dad, with the backpack, straight here without a support group, I can't even imagine that if he would have had the same greeting as now, how much easier that would have been instead of terrified.
Yes.
As soon as you're here, we'll help you out. There's a support system. You don't have to it's safe. So yeah, you guys are doing amazing work.
Back to our police chief, the amazing Shaheen, like what he explained to me I think he was 12 at that point, and the Shah of Iran basically said, you either become Muslim or you're going to die.
Yeah.
You're out,
Yeah.
right? And so the family was evicted from the country, right? And then after a while, the dad died in the process, and so then he came here with his brother and a sister and mom, brother and sister, and then they started in Toronto, and he was like doing, cleaning toilets, whatever, to make money to get the family to survive. And now he's a police chief in our community, and he's very empathetic, very caring. Like he's just an incredible pillar of community service as well. Like it's not about stopping the bad guys. It's about contributing to the
You're right.
to the wellness of the
wellness,
citizens.
and just his journey is inspirational for people to realize I can
Yes.
move forward here.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how old you are. It's the opportunities, especially now in Alberta, with trades. There's a good pathway to go for a comfortable
Yes.
living in very adverse events getting you here. So that in its sense is, that in itself is comforting, yeah.
You know what? Sometimes it's not even things that the Ukrainians need. This one lovely Ukrainian family, and Alla is who I know. I've talked to the woman, and she is a huge gardener. So she was looking for garden space. So I connected her with this woman who had lost her husband, and she's got a big yard, big garden. She can't take care of it, and so they've been working together to
nice.
to use that garden, and so they share this activity of gardening, and then share that fresh produce, right? So what an amazing relationship that way. So yeah. So anyways, do you want to share your contact info, Paul? You don't have to.
No, I want to actually, because first of all, like the first is the thank you to all of the people in the community that have contributed to settle Ukrainians here, because the gratuity is amazing. And with the protective gear that keeps coming in, I guess, thank you to everyone involved. Second piece would be if you have more items or anything, even medical supplies, we've been shipping through a different format with medications and stuff, but please reach out. My contact, if you go to the Firefighter Aid Ukraine website, it's very comprehensive. They have a good Facebook page. My own is medmstr@tellusplanet.net, and I'd even give my phone number is 403-393-1623. Text or call if you have anything. We can arrange the pickup and delivery, and what you think is, if you have any extra surplus, by all means, we'll get it to whoever needs it. So yeah, thank you.
And my contact info, alfriesen@gmail.com, alfriesen@gmail.com. My cell phone number is 587-220-8840. Send me a text, give me a call, do a Facebook message, whatever. And if you've got resources that can help get to the Ukrainian people, or if you are Ukrainian and you're looking for resources, like there's nothing wrong with that, or check out the Facebook page, Rotarians Helping Ukrainians. Or you'll probably already know Dennis Chitter. Just call Dennis Chitter. He'll find what you need. He's amazing. So
the other thing I was going to say, Alan, was, and I'm glad you brought up, if you don't have items to donate and you have some spare time, many hands make light work.
Definitely.
And so picking up from residence furniture, placing it up to help pack the crates to be shipped out with protective gear, it ends up being a very good, productive. There's a very good mood and spirit in there when we do it.
Definitely.
Because the good that's happening with all this. So by all means, it doesn't have to be a monetary or a physical donation of any persuasion. Time is a very, very important piece. Yeah.
My overall mission, I have discovered, is to contribute to the health and wellness of others, and this is a way to contribute to people who need resources to kind of bolster or support their health and wellness journey and their life here in Canada, in Lethbridge. So, thank you very much, Paul.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, give me a hug, buddy. Give me a hug.
Okay. Every time we've had any extra social media, the phone gets ringing, the emails, especially the volunteer base,
Yes.
Which is growing. And once you're a part of that and get to experience once, it gets a bit addicting because of the good that's being done locally and provincially, plus what they're getting over in Ukraine. It's amazing. The astounding amount of stuff has come in. Yeah.
Yes, very much so. Anything else we want to add, Paul?
No, I think that's great. I really appreciate you reaching out.
Yeah.
And we'll carry on.
Sounds good.
It's been a
And
pleasure.
we really want to thank Jessie and Jess TV for giving
Thanks,
us
Jessie.
an opportunity to share this with the world and with Lethbridge. So,
And in closing, for me, Slava Ukraine.
Slava Ukraine.
Heroyam Slava.
All righty, good one.
Yes.